This comment is a clear buttress of the gatekeeping role of the Ghana Teacher Licensure Examination. I think the nation studied the trends over a long period of time. Before this time, to enter a college of education, one needed to write examination and then go through interview. I'm sure Honorable Nuchu went through that. I did. And then you were recruited.
That's after passing your WASI?
Yes. But at a point in time, the process was reversed. Now, we set a minimum qualification as set by Ghana Teacher Education Commission, and that is the minimum grade of WASI at grade 36. And that is all you need to enter a teacher education institution, whether it's a college of education or a university. And then you go through the training.
The minimum grade the university stake is what?
36.
Universities?
Yes.
To enter a university?
To enter a university is 36. That is, you should have 6, average of 6 in 6 subjects. 3 compulsory subjects, which English, Maths, Integrated Science, or Social Studies. So, and then your other 3.
So there's exactly no difference in the entry level grade for those who want to go to university and those who want to go to teacher training college?
Exactly.
Okay.
The difference here is that universities have cut-off points for specific programs. Right. If you go to nursing, I think currently nursing, if you have even a grade 16 and beyond, you won't get a chance to read nursing. So there's a cut-off point. Even though 36 qualifies you, nobody will admit you to do nursing at 36. That is the challenge we face at our end, one of the challenges we face. Then, beyond that, if you look,
for most of the courses in the university, the cutoff, even for the humanities, will be what?
18, 24.
24, right. So is there a cutoff point for the entry to the training colleges as well?
Presently, no.
There is not.
There's no.
So 36 and you are fine?
You're fine. Okay. So whichever, from 7 or 6 to 36, whichever is still workable. And there are no screening, gatekeeping screening for you. So it's just open, the institutions take you. But that is not even the point, because the colleges of education still are a bit rigorous about how they select. But when it comes to distance training, that is where the real issue is. Distance and sandwich programs are the biggest issues for us. If you look at NTC data over the time, at any point in time, you see average of between 50 and 65% of the people who fail are through distance. Through distance and a sandwich mode, and to some extent online. Regular candidates tend to do better in the exam. So the challenges are many, but for me, I always say that to some extent we can say that the candidates are victims, because institutions that are supposed to train them are supposed to bring them out well refined and fit for the purpose. Because you have admitted people not just for any program, but for a professional program. And so before you churn them out of the institution, they should be capable of fitting well into that profession. A profession that uses language to really train people's affective skills, psychomotor, and other skills, cognitive skills, and so on. If that person is not well adept in the knowledge, in the skills that the person is supposed to use in delivering, then we have a huge challenge. And that is why these basic things that people are not able to do is a problem. Something, it didn't start yesterday. From 2018, when licensure examinations started, we started seeing these things. In fact, we have had occasions to bring stakeholders together. On many occasions, I've heard teacher unions talk that we should have stakeholder engagement and so on. It's fine, we are ready for it. But I can assure you that Angel, my brother, knows all these issues long ago. 4 years ago, he was aware of this. King Ali was aware of this 4 years ago. Musa was aware of this 4 years ago because we showed some of these
You are mentioning
things.
people and you are not telling us who they are.
Oh, Angel Kabodo is the president of NAGRAT. Kinali is the president of CCT. And Musa is the general secretary of NAT. Beyond that, we have brought the universities together and made presentations to them. Some of these scripts that are in the system were not churned out by NTC. But what I can concede is that in most cases, when chief examiners finish their report, they attach some of these scripts as evidence of what is really prevailing. And they go through a lot of hands. Awards committee meetings, they have them. You have examination committee, and then you have the board. So it could have come from any of them who is so angry about what is happening. But the point is that it has always been there. And we have not sat down. We've been working behind the scenes, trying to find a way of dealing with this. That is why we are bringing a reform in the licensure examination. We have even approached, first the Ministry of Education, we have approached Parliament, trying to see how we can restructure or reform the entry requirements and so on to the colleges and so on. So we have a challenge. And I must also concede that even they go beyond the training institutions, sometimes we have to also look at the foundational level, right from the basic school to the senior high to the university. Because if the person is really good at the senior high and really deserved the WASI results that the person really used to enter college, then the person shouldn't have had a difficulty going through the licensure exam. So it also brings to question what actually prevails at the WASI level. And I must concede that there are so many things that happen, and I don't blame WAEC so much. Sometimes they even put WAEC personnel in danger. We have cartels around that the nation is not talking about. Some people set up private schools and they end up just cheating the system and getting people past examinations. And so when those people pass the examination, they really did not deserve the examination, the results they got. And if you don't create another sieve for them, a gatekeeping role somewhere to do a further check, then some people may slip in there who did not really qualify to be there.
You say, are you making some excuse for these people? That these are people who have actually been resitting or may have been resitting for the first time, second time, third time, or I don't know to what extent. And yet, you make an excuse for them. You want to put the blame partly on their teachers before they entered, the teacher training colleges, on their teachers before they got they wrote the exams, the WASI. You're making an excuse for them.
To some extent, because something, ordinarily, nobody is, excuse me to say, a stupid person. And so it depends on the strategy you use to train the person. And as they pass through all these hands, some diagnosis should have been made. If the person has a handicap somewhere, maybe medically or in any form, as they pass through this system, somewhere within the pipeline, somebody should have detected that this candidate or this learner has this issue and therefore must be handled differently, because we cannot handle everybody at the same level. Some people are very, very smart. Some are slow learners, but they catch up and they are very good, and so on and so forth. So if we had been able to identify some of these people and their challenges and dealt with them before they got to where they are now, probably we wouldn't have experienced.
Would you say that the exam or the test that they would have written earlier, which was stopped, and the interviews that they would have attended before being admitted to the teacher training colleges would have helped?
It would have helped in two ways. One, if a teacher education institution was going to admit you and having interviewed you and having taken you through the exam, had detected your challenge. Let's say you had issues with literacy. Well, right from the time that you were being admitted, I knew that you had a challenge in literacy. So why don't you introduce me something like English language for, English as a second language for this candidate as an extra tuition while he or she goes through the training process. By the time the person completes in the 4 years, whatever the challenge is might have been corrected. That's one way. So the entrance exam would have been diagnostic in one way or the other for them, and the interview would have to. Secondly, it would have also meant that it stopped you from even entering in the first place. Do your remedies before you get a chance to enter. And when you enter, then it becomes seamless and smooth for you to complete. So these were some of the things that we thought we were bringing forth so that it will help the candidates to do better. Because forget about those in the colleges of education which government is sponsoring. There are people who have gone through this training 4 years. Their parents have paid fees for 4 years for them to complete, only to realize that these are the kind of products they will present to all of us. It's a worry. And the candidate having also spent all the time in the world for 4 years to go through this training, only to get to this point to realize that, no, I don't even fit for this purpose. It's also a worry. So right from the gate of the training institutions, we should diagnose their issues. We should either stop them from wasting their time or prescribe other measures that will support them while they go through the training so that by the time they finish, they will be fit for purpose.